Hello everyone, happy 2021, and I hope you are having a fabulous start to the new year. Thank you for joining me for another new year of creativity and inspiration. And to close out 2020, I would like to do a flip through of my December daily. So let's get started. So if you've been following me a while, you know that I am a regular journaler and I typically journal almost every day. And so this is actually just a section out of my 2020 journal. I separated it out to make it a little bit easier. This is the tab that goes into December. Now, I started out doing a couple videos for my pages, but then the month actually just got away from me. So this one, I did a video. I'll have the playlist linked down below for you. I loved having this tree in my December daily. Here is our little house. It opens up and actually tells 3 different stories. This is the first heavy snow of the season. This is some household experience that we had, and over here I was keeping in touch with certain people and documented that. For day 2 of December, I documented watching Hallmark movies. Now, this is something that I don't typically do in December or ever really. I have watched Hallmark movies, but I made a purposeful effort to watch some this year. I actually started early in November. Again, that was new for me this year. Must have been the whole part of being home for the holidays. So I have a full page photo here, 6x8. And then over here, I used different elements from several digital kits that I had. One, and the main kit that I used was Tracy Reed Stay Home for Christmas kit. These little stockings are from there as well. And then I created a little pocket between the 2 pages and have a little bit of journaling here, as well as the Hallmark scavenger hunt that I thought was kind of fun to do this year. For page 3, I documented our decorations that we had. We really didn't have a whole lot. I didn't even have a real big Christmas tree. I just had a small tree. And so I documented some of the ornaments and displays that I had in my house in these stars, which was really kind of fun to create. Now this page over here, I actually used part of this in a 12x12 layout for Dunia Designs and cut it down to fit in my 6x8 album. And I did some journaling over here using one of Allie Edwards' Story of the Day cards. I purchased all of her product plays and this year's prep day for December daily because I wanted to just get more into some of the details about doing December daily. And so I have a lot of her elements incorporated in here and some of her images. This is one as well. The City Sidewalk Sentiment is from her shop. This next page, I'm documenting a day that we are going out into the world. And this tag here, all these elements are from Tracy Reed, Stay Home for Christmas. And then I did some documenting on the back side. On this page, the best gift element here is an Allie Edwards image. I wrote my story here. I actually received the echo from my mom, which came from my sister. So that was kind of a whole story. And then I documented calling my sisters on the echo. So that was pretty fun. For day 6, I created a playlist of the songs that I listened to in December. And I took some elements, the record player here, as well as the carolers from Vecteezy. And you know I love using their items. I'll have them linked down below for you. The rest of the elements here are from Tracy Reed, even this ribbon here, and this element. And then I added a foam sticker number. So on the record is actually the songs that I listen to. Probably won't be able to see them. They're really small, but they are there. And then for day 7, what I wanted to do was document a message that I received from one of our community members, and I wanted to put it on some stationery. So I found the North Pole stationery from Victoria Designs. I'll also link them down below. And so I cropped out the email, and then I added it here to the stationery. And here's the envelope that comes with it. And what I did was I actually just tucked in, the top of the envelope here so that I could put it this way. And then I glued this onto a paper design from Paper Phenomenon. And it has the Dear Santa, for Christmas, I would like a jump rope and things like that. Really cute. I love this whole stationery set. The little stamp here is from Calico Collage. So there was actually a story in addition to this that I wanted to include for day 7, and that's what these tags are about. So instead of inserting them here, I just went ahead and put them into the envelope. It gave it a little bit of color. What I did was designed this tag digitally using Tracy Reed's collection, all of the elements there. And I put our photo on the back. I'm taking my mother to an appointment. And then it was cold outside, so I have that there. And then I did my journaling on this tag that I created digitally. So, really cute. For day 8, I came across the Dolly Parton letter that she wrote to Santa Claus, and I thought it was spectacular. She has always been in my life growing up. My mom loved her, and I really liked her a lot. I loved what she stood for, and she just keeps coming back, and she's very inspirational. And so I created this 2-page spread. I got these elements off of the internet, and then this paper here was from a planner girl. I think it's... I'll have to link her down below. I can't remember. But she had this Dear Santa paper. I love that. And over here, I created, again, a pocket between the 2 pages. And I have a little cutout. And I watched Dolly Parton's new Christmas movie for this year. And so I documented that. And on the back side, I actually wanted to tell my story of my memories of Dolly to go along with the spread. So this is her letter to Santa. And then this is my story about her being in our life, or my life. For day 9, I created this spread using the Stay at Home collection, and I actually had it as a 12 by 12, and again, cut it down to fit my 6 by 8. Now, the 12 by 12 is on Instagram, and you'll notice that it has some different colors. And it's because, you guys, another equipment failure has happened at my household, and that is my printer. First it was the Cricut Maker, now my Epson machine has causing me some problems. So it wasn't actually printing the colors out correctly, but it was enough that it still looked Christmassy. So I used that for my day 9 to talk about having eggnog this year, which is also something I don't normally do. I'm doing a lot of re-first, if you will. So I kind of documented that and just was telling about a story of sneaking eggnog. When I was little, my sister and I would sneak eggnog, and it actually had rum in it, so that was kind of fun. My grandma made that eggnog. So over here, there was a lapse in documenting some days in December. And what I wanted to do was just little snippets of what I actually did that day instead of stories. So that's what you'll see here. I did the secret holiday giveaway drawing. I did the video on my December daily pages. This is Amazon shopping that was delivered, another page, and I created that cascading card. Now, again, these colors did not come out, but I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just going to go with it because I want to move forward into 2021 documenting. On the back, I added this cute little card from Tracy Reed that says, taking the time to slow down and enjoy a more relaxed holiday season without all the typical hustle and bustle. And I have it next to day 10, where I documented the movie Abominable. And This is the first year that I saw this movie, and I absolutely loved it because it just brought back a memory of when I was a young girl and when I was out house shopping with my parents, and we saw a farmhouse that had this humongous weeping willow tree in the yard, and this just took me back to that moment. And so I wanted to document that, and I got these pictures off the internet, of course, and then printed that out with my story here. So I just really love documenting that. For day 17, I actually ran out in the wintry, snowy night to pick up just a few things for the Christmas gift giving. And so I took a picture when I left my house of the neighborhood, and I absolutely love that. I added the Allie Edwards image here that says Twinkle, and then this Home for the Holidays card is Tracy Reed, and then I added my story here. I really love how this turned out. I added some Dollar Tree ribbon across the seam there. For day 18, I needed a place to put my numbers, so I created this acetate page with the trees in the background. I love this acetate with the trees. On the back side of the acetate, I added that cute little reindeer. These are both felt, the numbers, and this. I cut this out of Cricut felt on my machine, and it cut really well. So if you've never used it and you're thinking about it, I'd say it's worth getting the Cricut felt. This little reindeer here was from the Dollar General. I love it. I did this 10 things I'm loving. On this particular day, I got calls from from 3 people. These 2 are together. My sister and her husband, my other sister and mother. And so I ended up with these 2 photos of him, which was unusual. So I love documenting him in my journal. It's always fun to talk to other family members beyond your immediate family. And so I documented that and all of the things that I'm loving in here. And it just basically talks about my time over the December month, as well as the year of communicating with family members. For day 19, I also use a layout from Allie Edwards, and it was this one of all the tags. I absolutely love this layout. Now, what I put on it was not of, great significance, but it meant something to me. I actually posted a few things on Instagram, and it got some responses by Authentique Paper, which I thought was fabulous. So I included that here. I wrote, it's the small things that keep me going when it comes to crafting. And so kind of that's what this page is about. I added some elements from some digital kits here on top of her digital page with the tags. Love that one a lot. Now this page over here for day 20, I used the Snow Day paper from Cartabella. I just got that off a Snap Click Supply. If you haven't checked out their Wednesday deals where it's only $1 for digital papers and images, I highly recommend checking it out. I'll link them down below if I remember, because I got this whole collection for $1. And so I loved this image of the snow and the like a neighborhood. And so I talked about my neighbors bringing over a tin full of cookies for us this year. It was such a great surprise. And then I journaled about that here. For day 21, I was documenting the Jupiter-Saturn, a conjunction that occurred. And so I created this using a digital paper. I added some elements that I got from the Dollar Tree here, some numbers. And how I created this page is it has a 3/4 inch spine here, and these fold up. So this one here talks about how this particular photographer of Greg Hogan Photography used his camera to create the actual Jupiter and Saturn to look like the Christmas star that everybody has in their mind. I loved how that turned out. And then down here, I got this information from NASA, and it talks more in depth about the whole conjunction and what it meant and everything. And then when you flip this one up, you actually see Jupiter and Saturn as they really look. So it was pretty cool to see how we would get the impression of a Christmas star here and then how they really look in the sky. So that was really neat to document there. On this little tag, it is day 22. There were some days that I didn't really have a lot to document, but I did document doing the BB Craft haul. So I have that here, and then this little pull-out just documents me doing my nails for the holiday. Something simple, but actually part of your life that you document. On this page, you have documentation of the Advent calendar that I made. If you recall, I did that here in a video. I can link that down below as well. And it just has not every day, but just some days of when I had created the Advent and it was opened. It was kind of fun. I did go a little bit overboard on the candy. I got those bags from the Dollar Tree of candy. Yeah, it was too much. Live and learn. For day 24, I actually have created my own little tradition of wrapping gifts on that day, and then when everyone's asleep, I put them under the tree or a little baby tree. And so I was kind of documenting our tradition here. I used elements from the Hustle and Create digital collection called Christmassy, I believe, and they are on the digital press. I'll have the link down below in case I got that wrong. But I used elements from their kit, and then the socks, of course, love those. And these are I just did gift bags this year because I didn't have a whole lot of gifts to put under the tree because it was just me and my son. And it was just easier. So I loved putting the milk and cookie there. So cute. And then on Christmas Day, this was a very unusual Christmas day for us. When I woke up at 2:16 a.m. in the morning, this is what it actually looked like. But then I took another picture of our backyard at like around 12:30 or so, and it was much more whiter. So I loved putting the contrast of these two pictures, even though they were the same, on the same photo. And then I kind of talk about waking up to this image. It was beautiful having a white Christmas, and it really just lends to the whole spirit of the day. And so that's what this page documented. And then on the next page over here, I actually document our Christmas morning. And what's kind of unusual about it is, I'll read it to you. I was up at 2:12 a.m., excuse me. Sent a Snapchat to my sisters and mom and my best friend at 2:38. Made breakfast at 3. Made cheesecake at 4:30 a.m. Ty opened his presents at 5. And by 6 a.m., Christmas was over. It was kind of a bittersweet moment when I realized that the whole day was before us, but Christmas had come and gone. Now, the other thing about this is by noon, Tyler was in bed, sleeping because he had been up all night. As I mentioned before in some of my videos, he's an online broadcaster, gamer, and so he's usually up at night. And I would say by 2, I wasn't feeling well. And so I ended up going to bed, sleeping most of the day away. And we didn't even get Christmas dinner until the 26th of the next day. And I had gotten up probably early then as well, probably around 5 or so. And then I made 5 a.m., made Christmas dinner. So it was a very unusual day, but I must say, for the time that we spent together, we did have a lot of fun. So these are just images from that day. I used a 12 by 12 template to insert these images, and then I saved it as a JPEG and then inserted it as a JPEG onto my 6 by 8 page in Photoshop, and it had shrunk down, but it kept the proportion of all the images really well. So I kind of like doing that. I actually did that same thing over here. This was a 12 by 12 layout, inserted the images, saved it as a JPEG, and then just fit it onto the 6 by 8. So in case you've not tried that, it does work. Now, typically people stop December Daily at the 25th, but because I'm a journaler, I just kind of kept going. I only had a few days that I wanted to incorporate for the end of 2020. And on this day, so on December 26th, when I got up, we ate, I felt better. I spent from that day to the 30th, pretty much on and off throughout the days, working on what I refer to as end of year things for me. So that includes reviewing the goals that I had set for 2020, what worked, what didn't work, what was accomplished, what wasn't accomplished. I do a list of my milestones for that year. I look into my word of the year. I'd never have done a review on my word of the year, but I think I might start incorporating that in 2021. I know Allie Edward has her one little word. I don't know if I'll be doing that, but I might find my own way of doing some type of review. But I did go ahead and select my word of the year for 2021, and that was bloom. I created this little mood board here. I absolutely love this. I might talk more about this in another video. So I kind of just did things like that. Reviewed my journal, pulled out key moments, made a milestone list. I also participated in Woman Unleashed, and that is a free 2-week retreat. I absolutely love it. I have done it for at least 5 years now, and it's a really great time to do it. The bad thing is it does overlap with December. It goes from December into the first week of January. So it's kind of hard to incorporate that into December Daily as well. So that's kind of what kind of got me off of doing my December Daily pages, I think. But so this page documents it, my review that I did, and just me kind of going through this process. On New Year's Eve, day 31, I created this layout at the top, not all these images, but some of them, and posted that on Instagram. So then I took that image and added some photos. I added Goodbye 2020 from Allie Edwards. I added some love and joy into the glasses here, and the New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest here. I always watch the ball drop, and so I have this Magic is Something We Make from Allie Edwards as well, and added just some of these elements that I got from Gone Digital Designs, and I believe she is on the Sweet Shop, if I'm not mistaken. And I just wrote a little journaling here. Quite frankly, for New Year's, my son was busy, so I was going to be alone, and I was tucked away into my bedroom with my blanket on, doing some things on the computer, probably, working on my review or whatever, and getting prepared for next year. And my sister called me right before the ball dropped, and she actually stayed on the phone with me, and when the ball dropped. And so even afterward, we talked a little bit, and it was great. She made my New Year's Eve. So it's always best to document something fun like that. So I have a photo here of us on the phone, and there's one of me that I took afterward using Snapchat, of course. And then I just wrote a little snippet about that. But it was great. I hope you all had a fabulous new year and spent it with someone that you loved. So the very last thing that I included was a list of my 2020 Christmas movies that I watched. This movie list was entirely too big to do a spread, and quite frankly, I just wanted to be done. So this is the list that I have. I have a list of the movies, where I can watch them, and my personal rating for that movie. And I even have some that I watched in November, because since I started watching Christmas movies early, I wanted to document those as well. So I captured all of them on here, 2 pages worth. Yes, that is an obsessive amount of movie watching, But I must say, most of the time when the movies were playing, I was crafting or doing something else. So I don't find it a total waste of hours. I was always doing something. I probably won't do this next year. It was really a lot. So anyways, that concludes my December daily and all of the things that happened. And I'm looking forward to the new year and starting to document that. Again, I hope you had a fabulous new year. And, you know, I'm just excited to get started in 2021. So thanks a lot for joining me. See you next time.